Thanks for joining us. It's about 5 days after the unfortunate helicopter crash in the United States, which killed former CEO of Access Holdings, Herbert Wigwe, his wife, son, and former chairman of the Nigerian Exchange Group, Abimbola Ogunbanjo, and 2 others. The United States authorities have released footage from the site of the tragic crash. The images showed 2 officials of the National Transportation Safety Board inspecting the debris. Board member of the NTSB Michael Graham said they had visited the site and outlined the activities conducted on the first full day of investigation at the accident site. He emphasized the agency's commitment to conducting a thorough investigation, which he says may last 12 to 24 days. Back home, the Senate is calling for a comprehensive investigation into the cause of last Friday's helicopter crash. The Senate wants the federal government to collaborate with the U.S. authorities to ensure that a thorough work is done. The Red Chamber observed a minute's silence in honor of Herbert Wigwe and others who died in the helicopter crash. The lawmakers also resolved to send a high-powered delegation to the burial of Herbert Wigwe when announced. To Rivers State, where Isiokpo community has commenced 8 days of mourning in honor of the former Chief Executive Officer of Access Holdings, Herbert Wigwe. Residents trooped out in their numbers for a condolence procession to mark the first day of the week-long memorial. Senior reporter Uche Okoro has details.
An air of sadness hovers around Isiokpo, the headquarters of Ikwere local government area. Many residents wear gloomy faces, shocked by the sudden death of a son of the community and frontline banker Dr. Herbert Wigwe and other members of his family. Commercial activities were suspended for 8 hours to honor a man who was celebrated amongst his people. Community members, friends and relatives first marched to Dr. Wigwe's family house in Isiokpo. From there, the procession headed for the palace of the traditional ruler.
I'm in shock. It's heavy, big shock. The day I had it, I fainted. But God to help me, I revived. It's a very big loss for us.
We have lost somebody. The Ikwere Kingdom entirely, Rivers State, Nigeria, and even Africa. It's a huge loss to everybody.
The late Dr. Wigwe left behind 3 children, his parents, brother and 2 sisters. For the family, it's been difficult to come to terms with the sad reality.
Most of us are still trying to wake up and hear that it's a fluke or something. But it's just a pity. The reality is he's gone. It's a big blow and we're looking up to God to comfort us really.
They should be thoroughly checked. The pilot and the crew, everybody at the airport, whoever that is concerned the weather, should be properly brought to book. We, the entire Wigwe family, we are not really happy. We've lost and lost and lost. Generation died.
For the mourners, cutting across family members, the community and the entire state, the death of Dr. Herbert Wigwe has created a vacuum that would be very hard to fill for many decades to come. Uche Okoro, TVC News, Isiokpo, Rivers State.
Here in Lagos, eminent personalities have described the death of Herbert Wigwe as a monumental loss and one that will be difficult to forget in a hurry. Condolences are still pouring in as dignitaries visit the home of his parents. Correspondent Ayomedia Jigbe reports.
The death of Herbert Wigwe has shocked many, especially those who have been here to pay condolence visits to the family. Sympathizers could be seen holding hands, consoling each other, exchanging pleasantries, reminiscing on the life and time of the departed bank executive. Journalists were not granted into the main building, but were able to speak with some persons who spoke glowingly of the experience with him.
We don't know what to say. I'm as devastated as is possible. But God's will, what can we say? We cannot ask why. He knows why, and he will comfort them.
A star was born, and that star developed into a gem. And now we're witnessing a situation where the star that was born has turned into a gem that is gone. It needs a lot of prayerful patience to be able to cope. It's a big tragedy. And our prayer is that we don't know the ways of God. There's nothing he does that is not for the good of mankind. So we say, may his soul rest in peace.
He came, he saw, he conquered. His life was a testimony of greatness. You know, he was of help to people, help to communities and things like this. Is how to live your life. You know, it is said that it's not how long, but how well.
All attempt to speak with the father of the deceased proved abortive, and understandably so, as it seems fate is repeating itself after burying his first son, Osita, in 1997 while traveling from Lagos to Port Harcourt. Ayomide Ajaybe, TVC News, Lagos.
Well, let's now head back to Abuja, where the All Progressives Congress and the Independent National Electoral Commission have tendered conflicting election results in the 11th of November 2023 Bayelsa governorship election. The contradictory results were brought before the Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Abuja. Judiciary correspondent Celestine Iria reports.
At the commencement of the hearing of the petition, an APC polling unit agent, Odungele Moses, adopted his statement on oath, which he deposed to on the 1st of December 2023. Led in evidence by counsel to the petitioners, the witness maintained that the election took place in his polling unit 15 Ward 4, which he claimed was issued to him by the INEC presiding officer. While INEC tendered its own certified results, the APC polling unit agents tendered different results in respect to the places they represented the party. The two conflicting results were objected to by different parties. The chairman of the tribunal, Justice Adekunle Adeleye, admitted them as exhibits for the tribunal consideration during the hearing of the petition. However, during cross-examination by counsel to Governor Diri, the witness admitted that although 16 political parties participated in the governorship election, only APC, which he represented as an agent, signed the result he tendered. A former Minister of Petroleum Resources, Timi Silva, and his party APC had dragged INEC, the elected Bayelsa State Governor, Doyedri, and the People's Democratic Party before the tribunal. The petitioners are praying the tribunal to hold that the election took place in 3 different local government areas where INEC claimed the election did not hold due to alleged diversion of election materials and disruption of election process. The affected 3 local government councils are Southern Ijo, Ogba, and Nimbe. Another witness, Molly Afin, who also testified for the petitioners' tendered APC results, which had same serial number and number of accredited voters with that of INEC, however, had different number of votes recorded for the different political parties. During cross-examination by counsel to Governor Diri, it was discovered that the result tendered by APC in Ward 002 was prepared and signed by the presiding officer in Ward 015. Hearing in the petition is adjourned until 15th of February.
The witnesses they call, we might not even have the need to call any witness if we see what they have brought before the court and it doesn't warrant any reaction from us. So we'll rest on their case and ask the tribunal to dismiss their case.
We have 224 witnesses to be called. So, and depending on the surrounding circumstances and the discretion of the tribunal, because we are talking about polling units, not wards. And you agree with me that in some wards you can have like 10 polling units, and you can have like 20 wards. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes.
And more than that in the local government. If you add that in 3 places, you discover that there is a reason for us to, call as much as that number of witnesses.
Governor Doye won the polls by securing over 175,000 votes to defeat the candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Timo Siva, who secured 110,000 votes. According to the results, Governor Diri won elections in 6 local government areas, while Timo Siva won in 2 local government areas. Celestina Area, TVC News, Abuja.
Back here in Lagos, shop owners in Iju-Shaga area of the state have called on the state government to come to their aid following the loss of property worth millions of naira to a gas explosion on Tuesday night. Senior correspondent Sharon Jason has details.
Few hours after a gas cylinder explosion occurred in Iju-Ishaga area of Lagos State, shop owners have been counting their losses. When TVC News visited the scene, eyewitnesses say more than 15 shops were impacted by the fire.
Honestly, as of then, because you know the rate of dollar now, so we don't know how much they're selling now. But as of then, like that one there is 2.7 million naira. This small one is 1.7 million. There's another one there that is burned to ashes. That one, about that one, 900,000. I have about 4 printing machines, but this one is DI.
If they are not too much, we should be talking about 16, 17 million naira. Because even a carton of milk that I used to buy from her is 24,000 already. And she has stock of cartons of milk.
Emergency responders and security operatives were seen trying to ensure that normalcy returns to the area.
The disaster occurred around 10:20 p.m. We activated our emergency response plan. All the key stakeholders that are important in managing emergency moved to the scene. We are able to curtail the spread of the fire. We are able to put a lot of things in place.
I met with Blessing John and other victims whose shops got burnt due to the explosion. They are calling on the government and other well-meaning Nigerians to help them restart their businesses.
Iju-Ishaga community is a border town between Ogun State and Lagos State. Though no lives was lost at this unfortunate incident, many of the residents want the state government to enforce safety measures at all levels. Sharon Jackson, TVC News, Lagos.
Still ahead on the news at 7.